Having undergone nearly half a century, not merely being involved in oil and gas exploitation, PetroVietnam is currently accelerating its petrochemical industry and expanding its business scope to numerous other sectors. PetroVietnam Energy for Sustainable National Development. In pursuing the goal of identifying potentials and increasing oil and gas reserves, discovering new fields, and meeting oil and gas demand of the country, PetroVietnam has conducted surveys over 327,000 kilometers of 2D seismic lines, nearly 50,000 kilometers of 3D seismic lines, and drilled more than 600 searching and exploring wells. Up to now, PetroVietnam has conducted 79 oil and gas contracts with international petroleum corporations and companies in various forms, such as Product Sharing Contract, which is PSC, Business Corporation Contract BCC, Joint Operation Contract JOC, and Joint Venture JV, among others, with total invested capital of nearly $18 billion. The group has been investing in 20 overseas oil and gas exploration and exploitation projects, and it is currently coordinator of many searching and exploring projects under the PSC form. PetroVietnam signed a contract with OAO Zarubezhnep to establish a joint venture, Rusviet Petro, to enable exploration, production of oil and gas in Russia and third countries, and another contract with OAO Gazprom to establish Gazprom Viet to enable oil and gas production in Russia. In addition, it is seeking opportunities of investment and potential areas such as Africa, Latin America, and Middle East, Southeast Asia, and some nations in the former USSR. So far, PetroVietnam has conducted over 250 million of crude oil and more than 50 billion cubic meters of gas. PetroVietnam have been implementing a variety of large-scale, diversified, and complex oil and gas projects nationwide to meet gas demand of industries and daily consumption. Billions of cubic meters of gas have been exploited and distributed to power plants, nitrogenous fertilizer production plants, and daily consumption. Rang Dong Phu My Bac Ho gas pipeline system transports associated gas from Rang Dong and Bac Ho fields on Cửu Long reserve ashore at an annual capacity of 2 billion cubic meters, supplying gas to Zinco gas processing plant, Barrier and Phu My power plants, and Phu My nitrogenous fertilizer production plant. Nam Con Son pipeline system transports gas from Lan Tây, Rong Doi, and Rong Doi Tây fields on the Nam Con Son reserve at an annual capacity of 7 billion cubic meters, supplying fuel to Phu My power plants. Phu My Gas Distribution Center receives gas from Cửu Long and Nam Con Son reserves and distributes it to user households. And the pipeline system that transports gas from field on PM3 CAA area to Cà Mau at a capacity of 2 billion cubic meters per year, supplies fuel to Cà Mau power generation in nitrogenous fertilizer production complex. With gas and coal-operated power plants and hydropower plants, PetroVietnam supplied to a national power grid 3.4 billion kilowatt in 2008. Cà Mau 1 gas power plant with capacity of 750 megawatt. Cà Mau 2 gas power plant with capacity of 750 megawatt. Nhan Trac 1 gas power plant with capacity of 450 megawatt. And ongoing power projects such as with available gas as raw material, PetroVietnam produces and supplies over 700 tons of urea and million tons of ammonia to the chemical industry a year. One of those supplied units is Phu My Nitrogenous Fertilizer Production Plant located in Phu My 1 Industrial Zone, Tân Thanh District, Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu Province. At an investment of about $900 million, Camo Nitrogenous Fertilizer Production Plant was kicked off in July 2008 and it is expected to be completed in 2012. PetroVietnam has paid special attention to investing in a dozen of projects on oil and gas processing and manufacture of crude oil-derived products. It was most specially that on February 17, 2009, at Dung Quất Refinery, PetroVietnam launched its first commercial goods bearing Vietnamese trademarks. Coupled with this, our project on the condensate production plant in Phu My Industrial Zone, Tân Thanh District, Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu Province, the DOP production plant in Dong Nai Province, and nearly a dozen of other major projects on petrochemical processing, production of fibers, biofuel, etc. Oil and gas service and multiple business of PetroVietnam are getting more diversified with larger scale and more modern technologies. PetroVietnam Insurance involved in oil and gas exploration and production such as geophysical surveys, drillings, and oil and gas production. PetroVietnam Insurance involved in such services as export, imports, and provision of petroleum equipment and materials, export, import, and trade of crude oil and petroleum products. PetroVietnam Insurance involved in such services of operation and maintenance of petroleum facilities as oil production platform, oil vessels, crude oil vessels, oil, gas pipeline system, gas processing plant, and high-rise buildings. PetroVietnam Insurance involved in such services as design, engineering of oil, gas, electricity facilities, and civil construction. PetroVietnam Insurance involved in marine transportation and logistics. PetroVietnam Insurance involved in providing labor for tourism, hotel sectors, and providing meals to workers on sea drilling platforms. PetroVietnam Insurance Joint Stock Corporation (PV Insurance) provides risk insurance services in oil and gas exploration, personal insurance, engineering and erection of oil and gas works, property insurance. PetroVietnam Insurance involved in capital, credit arrangement for investment projects, and financial and security services. Vietnam Petroleum Institute provides services of scientific and technological consultation, research and technical transfer, new technologies in oil and gas production, processing geophysical data, analysis of stone sample, crude oil and natural gas, quality examination of petroleum products in accordance with international standards, research oil, refinery technology, formulation of feasibility studies for petroleum projects, environmental surveys and formulation of environmental impact report, countermeasures for oil spills, environmental protection. Oil and gas service and multiple services of PetroVietnam is on the constant rise, making up an important revenue of Vietnam oil and gas industry. Safety and environment protection are most important criteria in all PetroVietnam oil and gas activities. The group has successfully developed and applies health and environment safety management system based on international standards. All types of solid, liquid and gas substances have to be checked and treated according to regulation before being discharged to the environment. Periodical environment supervision is done on an annual basis. PetroVietnam actively develops and upgrades standards and technical standard systems, adjusting them suitable to international practice and Vietnamese laws. The group has always encouraged application of ISO 9000 quality control standard system in its production and service provision activities. Petro-Vietnam is heading toward utilization of clean and environment-friendly fuel and production of biofuel as replacement for the further exhausting fossilized fuel source in order to contribute to minimizing volume of greenhouse effect causing gas. Materializing this strategy are those projects on construction of plants to produce alcohol from biomaterials being implemented in Phu Tho Province and Dung Quất in Quang Ngai Province. Together with companies such as JPVC and ConocoPhillips, Petro-Vietnam has been the first Vietnamese unit having successfully registered its gas waste reducing project at Rang Dong Field. Petro-Vietnam has never let a single incident that affects the eco-environment nor the earthworm to take place. However, it has always been self-conscious of efficient usage of natural resources so as to contribute to protect our planet Earth. Petro-Vietnam provides a source of clean fuel being processed natural gas (CNG) as replacement for petrol because it does not cause hazardous water to the environment. The clean fuel is certified by Norwegian Certification Evaluation Organization and Vietnam Productivity Center with certificates for Health Safety Management System and Environment Management System, respectively. Spirit of unity has forged Petro-Vietnam into a powerful group of rapidly made Petro-Vietnam's dream to reach high seas come true. Petro-Vietnam has a contingent of high-level and highly specialized staffs. Its specialized training system has provided the group with reliable and wholeheartedly job-dedicated workers. We are proud for being Petro-Vietnam staff. Petro-Vietnam's culture is an endless source of pride that brings about a difference for development. Reaching the high seas is aspiration of a community consisting of people who know how to surmount difficulties and look forward to a better tomorrow. Oil rigs provide energy to endless flaring flowers over blue sea surface, such is ocean conquering aspiration.